Most marketers are making two massive content mistakes that are killing their AI search visibility. They're creating tons of content that AI models will never recommend, while completely ignoring the content types that are actually driving sales in the age of AI. I'll explain more in this video. Hi there, I'm Jason Patel, the co-founder and CEO of OpenForge AI, and we help your business get seen by ChatGPT and other AI search engines. And don't forget to like and subscribe. You get the latest tips, strategies, and videos on how to increase your AI brand visibility and 10x your marketing as AI takes over the world. Let's get started. Here's a reality that's going to shake up everything you know about content marketing. Top of funnel content is dying. It's pretty much dead, and AI search is the reason why. For years, marketers have been obsessing with creating educational blog posts, how-to guides, and general industry information to attract visitors at the top of their funnel. The strategy was simple. Create helpful content, get people to your website, and then nurture them throughout the buying process. It was a legit strategy and it worked very well. But AI has completely flipped this model upside down. When someone has a general question like, what is email marketing? Or how does social media advertising work? They're not going to your website anymore. They're asking ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, and then these models can answer those basic questions better than most blog posts. They're simple, direct, and concise. It's all because they synthesize information from thousands of sources instantly. Now, the harsh truth is that AI has commoditized informational content. After all, why would someone read your 2,000-word blog post on the basics of content marketing when they can get a personalized conversational explanation from an AI in less than 30 seconds? That means that two of the most common types of content that marketers create, informational and navigational content, are becoming increasingly worthless for driving business results. But what's sad is that most marketing teams are still pouring probably 80% of their content budget into exactly these types of content that AI has made completely obsolete. So overall, creating informational content when AI has already become the go-to source for general information is a critical mistake, and that will kill your marketing budget. Informational content is designed to answer questions like what is, or how to, or why does, or when should. These are educational pieces meant to help people understand concepts, processes, or industries. Here are some examples of informational content that used to work but are now mostly useless. So, what is customer relationship management? Or how to create a marketing strategy? Or the ultimate guide to social media marketing? 10 types of digital marketing explained. Or why email marketing is important for small businesses. The problem is that AI models can answer all of those questions instantly, often with more comprehensive and personalized information than any single blog post could possibly provide. When someone asks ChatGPT, what is customer relationship management, they get a clear, concise explanation tailored to their level of understanding. They don't need to visit your website, scroll through your lengthy introduction, and then hunt for the actual answer buried in paragraph 4. But here's where it gets even worse for traditional content creators and marketing teams. AI doesn't just answer the question, it then personalizes the answer based on the user's specific situation. So as an example, if a restaurant owner asks, what is customer relationship management? And the AI might explain CRM in the context of managing reservations or tracking customer preferences for food and then building loyalty programs. If a B2B software company asks the same question, the AI will then explain CRM in terms of lead management, sales pipelines, and account management. Your generic blog post can't compete with that level of personalization. Just stop. It's an arms race that you're not going to win. So what happens when you're carefully crafted informational content? It's going to get buried. People will find their answers through AI, never visit your website, and then you lose the opportunity to introduce them to your brand, and then you wasted all that money to create that content. And more important, you wasted that time. The traffic that used to come from informational searches is simply going to disappear. If you're still investing heavily in this type of content, you're then throwing those marketing dollars into a black hole or just burning it. Mistake number 2 is focusing on navigational content when AI does the finding for you. AI, in general, has become the ultimate navigation assistant. Navigational content is designed to help people find what they're looking for. This includes comparison posts, roundup articles, directory-style content, and the best of lists. Examples of navigational content that are losing effectiveness like the following. So here are some examples of navigational content that are losing effectiveness. Best email marketing software for small businesses. Top 10 project management tools compared. CRM software reviews and comparisons. Social media management tools, a complete guide. Best accounting software for freelancers. So here's the problem. When someone wants to find the best tool for their needs, they're not going to Google best email marketing software anymore. They're asking their AI assistant something like, I run a small e-commerce business selling handmade jewelry. I have about 500 customers and want to send weekly newsletters plus automated abandoned cart emails. I'm not very technical and my budget is under $50 a month. What email marketing tool should I use? Then the AI is going to provide personalized recommendations based on the specific requirements, budget, and technical skill level. What's more is that the AI is going to provide 2 to 3 options with specific reasons why each one fits the user situation. So not only will it recommend you, but it will recommend a competitor. Your generic 10 best email marketing tools article can't compete with this level of personalized guidance and navigation. And even if your article is comprehensive and well-researched, it requires the reader to do their own filtering and comparison work, which is a no-go now. AI eliminates this friction entirely. But what's really concerning is that the AI might never visit your comparison article or even visit your website in the first place. It's pulling information from multiple sources, synthesizing it, and then providing recommendations without sending any traffic your way. So you could spend weeks creating the most comprehensive comparison guide in your industry, and it might generate 0 visitors and 0 leads because people are getting their answers directly from the AI instead. Okay, it's not all doom and gloom. Now that we've covered what doesn't work, let's talk about what does work in the age of AI search. Commercial intent content. Commercial intent content is designed for people who are actively shopping and comparing options. These are users who have moved past the what is and the how-to questions and are now asking, which option should I choose and what's best for my situation? In essence, they're ready to make a purchase, they're just doing more research to find out what they want to purchase. Commercial intent content serves people who are ready to make a decision and not people who are just learning about a topic. So here are examples of commercial intent content that work well with AI. Project management software for creative agencies with remote teams, or email marketing platforms that integrate with Shopify and handle seasonal campaigns. CRM systems for real estate agents managing luxury property sales. Accounting software for construction companies with multiple job sites. Social media tools for B2B SaaS companies with long sales cycles. You can notice how specific these articles are. They're not generic best of lists. They're targeted at specific types of businesses with specific use cases and requirements. When someone asks an AI, what's the best project management tool for my creative agency with remote team members, they want specific recommendations that fit their exact situation. And if you've created detailed content explaining why our tool is perfect for creative agencies with remote teams, the AI is likely to reference your content and potentially recommend your solution. You're giving yourself a fighting chance to show up in front of your customers. Commercial intent works well because it helps AI models make better recommendations. So you're helping AI do the work for it, and therefore it's going to choose you. So instead of just listing features, you're explaining use cases, benefits, and specific scenarios where your product excels. The AI can then match your content to user queries and then provide relevant recommendations. This is much more valuable than generic informational content that doesn't really help with decision making at all. Okay, so if commercial intent content is your new best friend, then transactional intent content is your secret weapon for dominating AI search. Here's the difference. Transactional content is content designed for people who are ready to buy at this moment right now. So the users have already decided what type of solution they need, and they're looking for specific recommendations, pricing information, or ways to make a purchase. Essentially, their wallets are open and their hands are on their dollars. Examples of transactional intent content that perform exceptionally well in AI search include the following. Pricing comparison, HubSpot versus Salesforce for 50-person sales teams, or how to switch from MailChimp to ConvertKit without losing subscribers. QuickBooks online pricing plans, which tier is right for restaurants. Slack versus Microsoft Teams, implementation guide for remote teams. Shopify versus WooCommerce, setup costs and monthly fees breakdown. This type of content is incredibly valuable because it serves people at the exact moment they're making buying decisions. When someone asks an AI, how much does HubSpot cost for a 50-person sales team, they're not just curious, they're evaluating options and probably have budget approval to make a purchase. If you've created detailed content comparing your solution to competitors, explaining pricing structures or providing implementation guidance, the AI is likely to reference your content when answering these high intent queries. And here's the beautiful part. People who find your brand through transactional intent queries are much more likely to convert into paying customers because they are already in buying mode. Instead of having to nurture them through a long sales cycle, you're catching them at the exact moment they're ready to make a decision. All right, so now that you understand why commercial and transactional intent are so important, let me show you how to identify the highest value opportunities for your industry and your business. So for commercial intent, look for these patterns. Your product type for a specific industry or business type, or your product versus a competitor for a specific use case, or your product type that, and then include the specific functionality or integration, or the best, insert your product for a specific business size or situation. And for transactional intent, look for these patterns. Brand name, and then pricing for a specific business size. or how to switch from a competitor to your product, or your product setup guide for a specific use case, or your product versus competitor costs and features. And to find these opportunities, start by thinking about your ideal customers. What specific industries do they work in? What business size are they? What specific challenges are they trying to solve? And then think about the questions they ask in the pipeline. Think about what they're asking when they're actively shopping for solutions. What comparisons are they making? What concerns do they have about switching from their current solution? And what specific features or integrations are deal breakers for them? Figure out the pain points of their objections. Tools like Answer the Public, Open4j AI, Reddit Search, and Quora will help you find these real questions people are asking about your industry. But focus specifically on questions that indicate buying intent, not general curiosity. And as a pro tip, look at your sales team's most common questions and objections. If prospects are asking, how does your pricing compare to a competitor for a team size, that's a perfect transactional intent content opportunity. All right, now let's talk about creating AI-optimized commercial and transactional content. Now, it's important to note that creating content that performs well in AI search requires a different approach than traditional SEO content. For commercial intent content, start with a detailed use case description and don't just list features. Explain specific scenarios where your product excels. Include information about company size, industry, technical requirements, and budgetary considerations. Then use comparison frameworks that help AI models understand the differences between options. Create side-by-side comparisons that highlight specific advantages for specific situations. Include real customer examples and case studies. AI models favor content that includes concrete examples and evidence over generic marketing claims. The more specific you are, the better. Try to address specific integration requirements, technical specs, and implementation considerations. AI models often need this detailed information to make appropriate recommendations, and so do human buyers. And then for transactional intent content, provide detailed pricing information with context. So don't just list prices, explain what different pricing tiers include and who they're best for. Create step-by-step implementation guides that show exactly how someone would get started with your solution. Address common concerns and objections that might prevent someone from moving from a competitor to you. Include information about support, training, and onboarding resources, and provide clear next steps and calls to action that help people move from consideration to literal purchase. Okay, now as your content strategy shifts to commercial and transactional intent, there are some common mistakes to avoid, so let me go through them before I end this video. You want to make sure that you don't make your commercial content overly promotional. No one likes that. Be honest about your strengths and weaknesses and focus on helping people make informed decisions. Be genuine. It's good business. And don't forget about content freshness. Commercial and transactional content often includes pricing, feature comparisons, and competitive information that changes frequently. It's a pain in the butt, I get it. But keep this content updated to maintain credibility with the AI. And also, don't ignore user-generated content. That's going to be king as AI takes over search. Reviews, testimonials, third-party reviews, case studies from real customers carry more weight with AI models than brand-related content. Include these in your commercial and transactional content. And don't create content in isolation. Leverage it. Get higher ROI. So make sure your sales and customer success teams are involved in creating commercial and transactional content. They have the best insights into what prospects actually want to know. They are on the front line of your business. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope I cleared things up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Jason Patel of Open4j AI, and we help your business get seen by ChatGPT and other AI search engines. I'll see you in the next video.